So we're here as part of the solar entrepreneurship class. And the reason that Kerim's a co-instructor in the class, the reason that I always come to you about solar startup stuff is because you did it. You know, you started a business in the solar industry, sold it to CED Green Tech, and you've done that multiple times. And now you're an investor in businesses, an advisor to businesses. So that's why I come to you for this stuff, Kerim. My question for you, I got two questions. Question one, I want 3 solar startups that everybody should know about.
Yeah, that everybody should know about. Well, everybody active in the solar space and mostly everybody solar entrepreneurs and leaders of solar companies should know about. I'll talk about some of these companies I've actually made small investments in. I'm an active angel. I'm no like big private equity type investor. I don't like that world too much. I like to support entrepreneurs when they need support the most, which is usually in their early stages. So I nurture relationships with them even at the idea stage and help them hopefully to their first fundraise or second fundraise and perhaps to their first revenue and maybe designing the solution. That's kind of like what I love to do. And so some startups that have been in my radar and I've made small investments and helped their founders in the recent years, last 2 to 3 years. Bodhi is one, which is led by Scott Nguyen he's a amazing guy that worked in Shell. He's a Harvard physics PhD, and he's innovating on a problem that he actually experienced when he was going solar in Texas, putting solar in his home. He just realized the installation process takes 2 to 4 months generally, maybe longer in certain cases, and how convoluted it is. So he actually built a CRM extension app, is what I call it, that runs alongside Salesforce, Zoho, or whatever is the platform that is organizing the sales and operations activity for a medium-sized installer, let's call it, or small to medium-sized installer. And it's an app that goes in the hand of the homeowner and the installation company's team, ops and sales team, to facilitate communication better from the point of contract signing all the way to the end of installation and thereafter. So that's one company that I really like, Bodhi Solar. Another company is ChargeNet Stations. They are essentially building a supercharger network that competes with Tesla, serving every other car other than Tesla. I mean, including Tesla, but you know, there is not a really strong supercharging network besides Tesla around the country, especially on highways or close to highways. And ChargeNet Stations is one such company with DC to DC superchargers. It's a solar carport battery combination solution that also is targeting the parking lots of quick serve restaurants. So they also have the food ordering APIs to even be able to pre-order your food before you get there or order it while you're waiting while the car is charging and so forth. That's another one that I really like. And I also made a small investment into that company. And another company that I love and I've been helping for a handful of years is Collective Sun, which is a specialty finance company focusing mostly on the nonprofit sector in the US. So putting solar on the roofs and properties of churches and synagogues and mosques and YMCAs and clubs and all sorts of nonprofits. They have a special tax equity optimization product that saves extra money to the nonprofits. They also have the capability to finance the remaining amount either through their SEC approved crowd lending platform, as well as other financing options. And they're a very capable and innovative team that's working on some exciting stuff. And I'm closely working with them on some new exciting products as well. So those are my top 3.
Those are good. I like that.
Week. I have a few others. Maybe we can cover next time.
Yeah, I think this could be a recurring thing.
Okay,
because
great.
I can't believe that I haven't heard of companies that, you know, are really impressive, and you're always the one to turn me on to them. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, here's question 2 of 2. I
Mhm.
want to know, what's one area of the solar industry that has been overlooked, it's underserved, and you think it's attractive for startups?
O&M, operations and maintenance of existing residential solar assets. You know, this is not a huge problem yet, but I think it's gonna become an increasingly bigger issue. Because as you might remember, you know, starting about 7-8 years ago with Sunrun and Solar City and Sungevity and all the, I'll call them the Wall Street and Silicon Valley VC funded solar solutions, which they were great for the industry because they really expanded the space very rapidly. Their solution, which was a lease-based product or PPA-based product, which is third-party owned, was not necessarily the best thing economically for the homeowner, but it was easy to sell and good enough for the homeowners to buy into. And their market share of these third-party owned solutions went from like 20-30% to 80% from maybe 8-9 years ago until 3-4 years ago. But what's also happened in the meantime is that homeowners have realized that it's actually way more economical and much smarter to own the systems if they want to just learn a little bit more about these systems. And also, on average in America, houses change hands every 7 years. And when that happens, that third-party ownership usually gets folded into the house purchase. So the homeowners actually end up owning these things, even though they were initially sold as third-party owned solutions. So I don't know to what extent that will be a challenge for Sunrun's business model. But the bigger question is, what's going to happen to the homeowners when a third party is not responsible for owning and operating that asset, which is happening a lot. And so that, I think, will become a big opportunity. And there's a company called Stable Solar that's been focusing on that space too, that I've been helping.
Snuck in a fourth. Nice work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. That's super, super helpful. Appreciate you weighing in. And I think we should make this a regular thing.
Great. Thanks, Brian.